Hello, Arnold and Karen Morgado. My name is Pat Stino and I'm one of the construction managers with Epic Homes. And today is Tuesday, August 4th, and we are going to be doing a virtual pre-drywall walkthrough today. We're going to videotape your house inside and out. We're going to go over electrical locations. We're going to show you everything that we've got in your house. As later this week, we're preparing to go to insulation and then to drywall. So here we are in the outside of your home. It is Tuesday afternoon here in Denver, and I hope things are well where you are. We are going to move through a checklist that I have today, and this checklist looks as such. Today's date is up here. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about grading and drainage on the exterior. We're going to look at downspouts and gutter locations, the elevation of your home, the window grids, electrical, low volt, plumbing, mechanical, projected schedule. We're going to talk about many things, and then we're going to upload this video to YouTube, and Kyle will send you an email telling you when it's loaded, probably sometime the end of the day tomorrow, so you can start taking a look at things and let Kyle know if there's anything that you see that's amiss or any questions you may have, and we will address them immediately. But as I meant, we've got a lot of work going on the outside of your house today as we're going to do this walk, and then tomorrow I've had all of my rough inspections done, both energy and city inspections and third-party inspections. So tomorrow we're moving to insulation. Then I have other energy inspections, and I plan on and I'm scheduled to stock drywall on Friday, this coming Friday. So that's the status of your house. So first thing we're going to look at is your exterior grading. And I have a copy of what is called your plot plan. And if you don't have a copy of this, just shoot Kyle a note and he will make sure that he'll send one over to you. But what this shows is your house sitting on your lot. This is the footprint or the outline of your foundation, and these are your property lines, front to back, rear, and up the side and to the front. We are building for you a plan 2361. This is a modern prairie elevation. The modern prairie elevation gets a combination of stone and stucco, and we'll be showing you that in a few moments as we have both of those things being applied today. We'll be wrapping up the masonry work this week. So a lot of information on this plot plan. Civil engineers, our civil engineering firm, BJ Surveying, develops this for us, and then they certify that we're building exactly according to this plot plan. There's a legend in the lower right hand corner that will tell you what things mean, but just a few brief point outs for you. You can see that in the back corner of your lot, this would be the high point of drainage around your house. These arrows show us direction of drainage that we need to make your lot flow, and that's how surface drainage will happen on your lot. In the rear, we try and slope everything 10% away from foundation, and that's to maintain and uphold your 10-year warranty. We want to keep water away from the foundation. Then we flatten things out to the property lines, and we bring drainage forward on your lot. You've got what's called an A lot, so everything flows forward. So we've got from the back property line, slight grade to this is called a swale, where this will, and then away from you, it slopes away from your house. All of any surface water will pick up in that swale and drain forward. And then from this high point here, it'll come this way. Then the front yard just drains to the city walk and to the street. Excuse me, a couple other things I'd like to point out. These little stop signs that are in your inside of your footprint. This tells us how many steps there are to the finished floor or to your main living level. So for example, in the 2-car garage, there are 4 steps going up into the house. At the front porch, from the front porch into the house, there's 1 step. We've got 4 steps from your single stall garage up into the house, and 4 steps from the driveway up onto your front porch. In the rear, there's just 1 step down to the rear patio, which you'll see when we get back there. Elevations. It tells us here that we've got a finished floor elevation, and this is in real elevation. This is where we're sitting in real elevation, and that real elevation is 5,399.3 feet above sea level. This is top of foundation, 5398. This is your little address marker. Your address is 3404 West 154th Place here in Broomfield, Colorado. There's elevations All of these X's are spot elevations for us to hit as we're grading. These are dimensions. So for example, that back concrete wall line and that foundation line is 34.0 feet long, 13.0, 15.5 feet, 28.5, 25.2. So these are in tenths of feet, and then our elevations are shown in real elevation, but it's abbreviated, like 95.9, 95.8. So this is your plot plan, and this will help you tremendously in planning and sending and speaking with landscapers, and they know exactly what to do with this. They know that they need to maintain that drainage, and that's critical. You will find it graded, you will find it certified. We will have your front yard landscaped. The tree lawn between the city sidewalk and the street will be landscaped as well, and you'll see that. Over on the left hand side of the lot over here, this shows us where the water meter pit is, and the sewer, the main sewer, the city sewer ties in, and these come in and they're located inside the basement, and we'll show you those when we get down into the basement. So without further ado, we're going to start walking around your house, but so the grading and drainage is taken care of here. Gutters and downspouts, we do have all the gutters on your home, and you'll see on the right hand side of the 2-stall garage there's a downspout that will kick back to the wall, come down and slope out to grade. At the front porch, everything falls away, comes to the front of the 2-stall garage. There's a downspout. It'll tuck back against the wall, down the wall, and then the downspout extension will extend 4 feet or 5 feet beyond the foundation. You can see the steps going up to the front porch. We just finished pouring your concrete driveway today, so this is a fresh pour. We're not going to step on that. We're going to take a couple pauses in the video. We're going to hop in the 2-stall garage, show you that. Then we'll check around. We'll hop into the 1-stall garage, show you that garage. Then we'll be going into the house. But we're going to continue around the house. Now you have selected the modern prairie elevation, which the windows are totally clear windows. We have no window grids in this modern prairie elevation. Other elevations on the project have front grids, but the modern prairie elevation has no grid, so they're all clear. We are in the finish coat application of the stucco work. You can see above the 1-stall garage, those are the finished colors of the stucco. We've got a dark gray background and then a cream colored band, and that will wrap around the front. This is just the base coat on the front. We've started on the other side, and you'll see as we come around the house, the other side that's completed. So then we've got the stone that also goes with this elevation. We'll be wrapping up stone and stucco like I mentioned this week. We've got the roof system loaded. It's all been inspected and it's loaded for tile. We'll start installing that tile here in the next 10 days or so. We'd like to get that roof loaded before drywall stock so that all of our roof trusses have flexed and have compressed as much as they're going to, and this weight will stay pretty evenly distributed all the way through the process, so we get fewer and less drywall cracks because the roof has been loaded and all of the stress has been put onto the roof trusses. So as we move around, you can see we've got 4 coach lights on this ranch plan, one on either side of the 2-stall garage, and then one on either side of the 1-stall. And there will be, excuse me, so 4 coach lights. We have front porch lights that we'll look at when we get to the front porch. So we're gonna walk around this outside. So as we move around to the west side of the house, we've got all the siding up, but we're not painted yet. We'll wait a little longer till we get more work done before we paint. We still have the ledge stone to put on top of the stone, but that will happen this week. You can see our main gas meter is about 6 feet in from the corner of the garage. It's where all of our gas meters are located. And as we move along the west side, in the back corner is where the main electrical distribution is. This is where our electric service comes into the house from the rear property line. We've got pedestals at the rear property line, and your property line is just to the right of those pedestals back there. But this is our main electrical distribution. We've got meter housing, meter disconnect, main emergency disconnects, and then we got breaker panel next to it. This is the low volt, or what we call low volt, which is like Comcast, CenturyLink, Xfinity, whatever service provider you decide. We've got sleeves under the ground from their pedestals, and they'll come up through those sleeves. This is our main low volt termination point of all of the coax and everything that terminates out of your low volt box from the inside. And there'll be a D-mark or a box set here where all those connections will be made. So as we move around to the back patio, you can also see up in the top here, we've got a downspout on this back corner of the patio. Now we'll kick back to the column after the masonry is on and come down and drain to the yard. So as we move around this patio, this is the back patio where we have a combination of stone and siding. We've got our soffits up. One of the electrical options that you've requested, it is in that soffit up there. I'm going to step up and point to it, but that is a switched waterproof outlet in the ceiling right up there. So that is switched from inside, and I'll show you that switch when we get into the dining area. We also have the gas for barbecue, gas line for barbecues protruding from the stone column, located per your drawing. We have a waterproof outlet on this side, and then we have recessed cans in the ceiling of the back patio. As we move around to the south or the back of the house, you can see we're still scaffolding. We're working stucco and stone. As you can see here, we've got the finished coat of stucco on this back side here. So you can see the different variation between the band and the finished coat of the stucco. On the east side, we've got our furnace and water heater vents. We've got electrical service, service outlet, plus the air conditioning unit mounts on this side of the house. So that's a service outlet. Then we've got the main disconnect for the air conditioning condensing unit and the condensing lines. Basement windows. We'll look at those further when we get inside. The pipe penetrations are the furnace intake and exhaust and water heater intake and exhaust. The other item in the front corner here, outside the study, this is your front hose bib, and we've got a hose bib in the rear as well. But this is our sprinkler tee. This is where our irrigation valve box will sit for the landscaping irrigation, and the valve box is large enough where it will accommodate not only the front landscaping that we put in, but your rear yard landscaping the zones will happen from here as well. As you move around to the front, you can see another downspout location coming off to this corner. It'll come right down the stone and kick off to the side. And this is the front street face of the single car garage. And we're going to pause and we're going to move inside to the garages, and we'll pick this up. Okay, I'm currently standing in the single stall garage, or some people call it the tandem garage. And you've got no additional electric requests in here, but what we do provide is service outlets around the garage on each wall. This outlet here on this back wall, this would be the east facing. This is generally used for the irrigation clock or the sprinkler clock. So it's easy to get down and out and around to the valve box. Also got power outlet on this side. Up above, we've got power and low volt boxes, and that is pre-wired for a garage door opener. And we have a light also behind us. Garage doors are going in tomorrow, Wednesday. Also, we have low volt pre-wired down to the sides of the garage door, and those are for the sensor, the safety sensors. So in the single stall garage, that pretty much wraps it up. Got a very high ceiling in here. This is about 12-foot ceiling. And 3 windows, 3 outlets, switch. We're going to pause and go into the 2-car garage. I'm standing in the 2-stall garage, and this is standard wiring as well. We've got outlets around the garage on all walls. 1, 2, 3. Then we've got ceiling lights, garage door opener, pre-wire. Again, low volt down to the sides for the sensor wires. And in this corner here, This is an electrical ground. This is called a CEE, or a Cooper ground. CEE stands for concrete encased electrode. We provide two methods of grounding for your electrical service. This piece of rebar goes all the way down through the foundation, through the footing, and into the ground. And that is inspected before we pour the concrete so that we get a good positive ground into the soil. The second method is bonding on the water services, which I'll show you when we get down to the main water service in the basement. So this is a CEE, or a concrete encased grounding rod. We've got our gas pipe covered. This will all drywall. Any green and adjoining walls will drywall. Got no additional electric here. We got two switches in the garage. One is for three-way switch for the coach lights out in front of the garage, and the other side of that switch is over at the front entry, and the other switch is for the interior lights in the garage. So as we come into the owner entry, we have, according to your electrical mini, I've got no additional electric services in here, but I do have some low volt. Pardon me while I flip through some paperwork, because we're going to look at low volt as we walk as well. Looks like we've got security pre-wire here. I'm just going to check that mini so I can tell you exactly what that says here. At the owner's entry, we've got pre-wire for keypad. So this is the contact for the door. Here's the pre-wire for the keypad. And then we've got a three-way switch coming in. So as you enter the house, you would be able to turn on or off your security system, turn your lights on ahead of yourself. We have recessed cans and ceiling lights everywhere. So as we enter a space, we can turn a light on ahead of ourselves, and we can turn that light off behind ourselves as we pass through that area. We've got the coat closet off to the left. And then as we pass through the kitchen, we've got, in that coat closet, we have an interior recess cam with a light switch inside. Got a landing spot with power below. We've got two switches here. One is to turn the lights off behind yourself, and one is to turn the lights on ahead of yourself as we move into the kitchen area. So here we are in the kitchen, and there's no additional electric requested in the kitchen other than our standard wiring. How this sets up is, here is our cooking wall, or our range wall. We've got our range, or our gas range, located in the center in between the windows. This is the hood vent. This is power for the hood. We've got all outlets located horizontally at 38.5 inches above the floor, so that'll be above countertop. These wires sticking out of the wall as such, these are under cabinet lights. Got one on each side of the underneath the cabinets. Again, horizontal outlets around. At the patio door, you have two switches. One is for the under cabinet lights, and the other is for the kitchen cans, the workspace cans. So as we stand at the range here, we've got under cab lights, hood, range. On this end is our double oven. We've got an oven with a micro. That's what this heavy 220 line is for. And as I turn around, centered on between these windows again, everything in the kitchen is centered. We've got our sink, our kitchen sink location with cabinets and dishwasher. Dishwasher on left, cabinets inside of this sink cabinet. That will be where the switch is located for your disposal. You've also opted for the eat-in dining, which I think is a great choice. So this is our peninsula. I call it a peninsula. We got power all around the peninsula. This will wrap in all cabinet skins. Your countertop will hang over. There'll be corbels underneath to help support that overhang countertop. So this will be a great eat-in kitchen area. Power all the way around the island. This is our refrigerator location. And this is cabinets with a microwave above and under cab light. Also on the low volt side at this location, you have requested a T1 location here, and the T1 is a phone and data, and that's this pre-wire right here. So this is above countertop next to the horizontal outlet, under cab light. This This is line 4 microwave. Refrigerator, water for ice maker or water, and switches along above this countertop here. We've got several switches here. This is a 3-way switch. We've got a 3-way switch for the under cab lights. We've got a 3-way switch for the kitchen cans. And then we have a switch for the pendant lights. We've got 3 pendant lights. We've got 3 pendant lights, all centered and divided by 3 equal distances above this peninsula island here. So we go center, equidistant out. We take the total, divide by 4, and we place these lights. And you'll also see that centered with the island, everything centers through the kitchen. All of our lights and hood and sink, everything comes through the kitchen. Recessed cans, workspace cans, dining cans. So the only low volt in the kitchen was that T1 above the countertop next to the refrigerator. So we're going to move to the front entry. And on the front porch, as I mentioned earlier, we got recessed cans in this front porch, and that switch is inside. Plus we have a waterproof outlet on this side of the study, and this is your doorbell location. This is where the doorbell goes. So as we come in to your entry, we've got 3 switches. One is the 3-way for the coach lights out there that I had mentioned from the owner's entry. You can turn the coach lights on next to the garage doors, or on or off here, or at the owner's entry. We've got the porch lights, or the recessed cans on the porch, plus we have a 3-way switch for what I call our traveling lights. And those are the overhead lights through the foyer, which gets you to the next location. When we get to the end of the foyer, off to the right, you'll see that switch there. That's your 3-way switch to turn those lights off behind yourself. So we've got the front coat closet located right here. So this is all in the foyer. We're going to move into the study area. We've got double doors from the study coming in. We've got 2 switches right beyond the door swing. One is for the recessed cans that you've requested, and the other is for a switched half-hot outlet across the room. In every room, we put a switched outlet. Half of the outlet is switched, and it's always caddy corner from the door, so this one is half-hot. So you can plug a lamp into there or some other device, and that would operate off of the switch. We've got power outlets around the room. We have 4 optional recessed cans. Low volt, we've got a T1 pre-wire located adjoining to the bedroom B. I'm going to get to that low volt diagram, bear with me. Yeah, in the study is just the T1, adjacent to the master B bedroom. So we got power around the room, 2 switches. One is for the recessed cans, the other is for the half switched outlet. And as we move into the master B area, you'll see on the wall here, this is where the thermostat will be located for the main level. As we come down the hallway, you can turn the lights off behind yourself and turn on lights overhead as you come down the hallway. We're going to go into the bedroom first. We've got a Wi-Fi access point, wireless access point right outside of master bedroom B. That's on the low volt side. As we move into master B, we've got the coffered ceiling. We also have a ceiling fan pre-wiring here. We have outlets around the room. We have 2 switches. One is for the ceiling fan pre-wire, and the other is for the half-hot across the room. That'd be underneath the most northeast window. Again, no other low volt pre-wired into this room. Then we move into the guest bath. Got 2 switches as you come in. One is to turn on the lights above the sink and above the tub, and the other is for the fan. So we have a stool, vanity and lav, power next to it, light above the mirror, and then our tub shower combination with recessed can centered over the tub. Walk-in closet. As you walk in the closet, there's a switch inside the door with the recessed can centered in the closet. No low volt pre-wire in this room. So we're going to move around. We've got a linen storage closet just off of this bedroom. And we've got this second entrance to the laundry room. Excuse me. Yes, to the laundry room. As you come in, there are two switches. One is for the overhead light. The other is for the fan. This is also the location where we have our attic access in the laundry room. So inside of that attic access and up above insulation level, there is a service outlet and a light up there. So if and when you would need to access that attic, there's a light and there's a service outlet up there as well. So here in the laundry room, we got washer left, dryer right, water, drain, power, 220 power for dryer, and that vents up through the roof. Here we've got a laundry sink location with power outlet above the countertop next to it, and three-way switches to turn off light and fan behind yourself, or on if you're entering from the Master A side. So here we are in the Master A closet area, and we've got a switch for recessed can, and we have power outlet. In the Master A closet, walk-in closet, there is no low volt pre-wire. Standard windows up high in the closet. This will get shelf stack, rods and shelves. And here we are entering the master bathroom. This is the master stool room. Inside there are two switches. One is for the fan and one is for the light in the ceiling. Now here we are in the master bathroom area, and in the master bath we've got separate vanities. We've got a his and a hers. This side is one vanity with light above. We've got double stack switches coming into this bathroom. This is the other vanity on this side with a linen cabinet stack located here. We've got double stack switches. We've got recessed cans and lights above the vanities, and we have recessed cans in the shower, and we have a fan, ventilation fan. So here in the shower, we've got three recessed cans. We've got stationary shower head, diverter valve in the center. Over on this end, at this bench, we've got stationary head at this bench location as well. We had to relocate some drains. This subfloor will be repaired this week. And we've got glass panel here. We've got fixed panel. So this area here gets total fixed panel glass. We've got another fixed panel of glass on this side with a glass door adjoining or closing to that glass panel. So this is our door here, glass panel, enter the shower, stationary head, stationary head. We place these stationary heads at 84 inches above the shower pan to give plenty of room for tall people. So that should suffice. We've got a bench seat on each side of the shower. So now we'll move off into the master bedroom A. Got another linen closet right outside the master bedroom. And then we come in and we've got three switches on our left-hand side. We've got a ceiling fan pre-wire. We've got a half-hot outlet. And the switch to turn off behind yourself in the hallway, to turn off the cans behind yourself. So we can turn lights off in the vestibule, and then we can turn the ceiling fan pre-wire on, and or the half-hot across the room. Low volt in the master bedroom. A is at this location. You've asked for a CP, which CP stands for phone enabled cable satellite port, and power outlets around the room. We've got outlets on either side of the bed wall. which serve as good nightstand outlets. As we walk out of the master into the grand room, this is to turn lights off behind yourself or ahead of yourself going into the master suite. So here we are in the grand room, and we've got a switch here to turn lights off behind ourselves. And then over here on this wall is the grand room switch bank. And we've got recessed cans. You requested 4 recessed cans, 2 4-inch minis on either side of the fireplace, and a ceiling fan pre-wire. So our 4 switches here are, we've got ceiling fan pre-wire, we've got 4 recessed cans in the grand room, we've got 4-inch mini cans on either side of the fireplace, here and here, and then the half-hot outlet across the room. That's why there are 4 switches there. Also requested power at 75 inches above the fireplace. Also from a low volt standpoint, we have got a conduit running from our CP location up above the fireplace. And down low next to the fireplace is our CP port, which that conduit comes all the way up to above the fireplace. On this, inside of this niche to the right of the fireplace is the switch for the fireplace. That will turn the fireplace on and off. On the left side is the emergency gas shutoff. There will be a trim here with a key for the gas for the fireplace. So in the grand room, we got outlets all around the room, 4 recessed cans, ceiling fan pre-wire, 2 4-inch recessed minis, and the half-hot. It takes care of the electrical in the grand room. Also, outside of the master, you'll see a blue box up here. That is the smoke detector location. You'll see a couple of those blue boxes as I go through. If I failed to mention, those are smoke detectors. So here we are in the eat-in dining. With the eat-in dining or the Peninsula Island, there is no dining fixture in this area. What serves as the lighting for eating will be the 3 pendants, which will center over the island. As I mentioned, when we were outside, I've got 2 switches next to the patio door, and one is for the recessed cans in the ceiling of the patio, and the other is for the waterproof switched outlet, which I pointed out when we were outside. So these are these switches here. The other side are the kitchen switches, the 3-way for the undercab lights and the kitchen cans. So as we move through, we're just going to head right downstairs. I'm going to turn some pages of paper here. I think I've touched on everything electrical and everything low volt. So as we head downstairs, I've got a recessed can centered in the stairwell, and that light operates right here at the stairwell head. So we'll move downstairs. We'll see how our afternoon light is. At the base of the stairs, we've got another switch. That's to turn lights off behind yourself as you're coming down the stairs, or if you're downstairs, to turn on ahead of yourself. So as you get to the foot of the stairs, we're in the wet bar area. So I'm standing in the wet bar area. There are 2 switches right here. One is for the can lights above, and the other is for the can light, the pendants, which are over the wet bar. Back side of the wet bar, we've got cabinets with sink and cabinets on the back wall, and we have pre-wired for an under-counter refrigerator. That's this outlet here, and then we got outlets all above countertop on back wall. We got one above the pass-through top, and then there's an outlet on the other side of the wet bar wall as well. From a low volt standpoint in the wet bar area, we have nothing stipulated in the wet bar area. So in the wet bar, there are 2 light switches. One is for the pendants, one for the recessed cans. We've got a refrigerator outlet on the back side of the wet bar. We've got recessed cans, 4 recessed cans out here. Service outlets around the room. Got a drop ceiling for all mechanicals and steel beams. Then you'll see 4 switches here for the rec room. And we got a lot of 3-ways here. So we're turning on recessed cans ahead of ourselves. And we've got switches across the room where we can turn them on behind ourselves as well. We've got half-hot outlets that are switched here as well. So we've got 2 banks of recessed cans and half-hot outlets. They're on 3-way switches. We've got recessed cans in the forward part of the room, recessed cans in the rear part of the room. From a low volt standpoint, you requested in this area CP and a T, and that's a phone and data cable, and T is a conduit coming from low, and we've got power also. Those are stipulated at 66 inches. Half switched outlets. We've got a drop ceiling for all mechanical and plumbing. And here are our 3-way switches to turn on or off behind yourself or ahead of yourself. Now as we move into the basement bedroom area, as you walk into the bedroom, there are 2 switches here. One is for a ceiling fan pre-wire, and the other is for the half-hot across the room. In the bedroom, this is bedroom 4. There's no request for any low volt wiring. So we've got standard wiring, ceiling fan pre-wire, and half switched outlets. We've got closet with, pardon me, I don't want to misspeak. I believe these get bypass doors. This closet gets bypass doors. I believe that's correct. And as we exit the bedroom, we've got heating and air transfer grills above the doors, and that's just to keep the air movement to make the heating and cooling more efficient. Move into the basement bathroom. As you come in, there is a switch here, and that's for light above the vanity. So we've got full width vanity with power next to it and light above. Then we move into the tub room, tub and stool room, 2 switches. One is for the light above the tub, and the other is for the fan. So we've got stool and tub shower combination. Again, shower heads at 84 inches above the floor. And we'll be moving into bedroom number 5. So we can turn lights off in the hallway behind yourselves or ahead. If you come in, 2 switches again. One for optional ceiling fan pre-wire in the center, and the other is for the half-hot switched outlet across the room. Power all around the room. No request for additional low volt in bedroom number 5. So no low volt pre-wired in here. I will walk out and we'll move our way into the mechanical room. So as we moved into the unfinished mechanical and storage room, door swings in, light switch inside. We've got several lights, several ceiling lights. This is the location of the furnace and water heater location. This is floor drain, and this is a vent for the floor drain. Now, going from my memory, pardon me, I think I printed all of your options. I believe we are preparing for a tankless water heater. I have gas shut off here, and we have water run. So this is where the tankless water heater would mount. We've got our main air handler, like I mentioned. This is all unfinished storage area back here. This area back in the back corner, we've got a couple of pipes coming up through the ground, which I'm going to explain to you as best as possible. This is our main water service coming in from the street. So this water line comes in from the street, comes up. This is our main shut-off valve. This is our pressure regulating valve, and we isolate that with valves so it can be serviced. This T here is for the irrigation or the outside sprinkler system. This is an anti-hammer device, so if any air, a lot of times in sprinkler systems, air gets in the lines, pipes won't clank or knock. This is our other ground wire, which I mentioned. We've got 2 means of ground. The other means of ground is a bond, which we connect to the water service, which goes all the way under the street, and that's our good grounding rod under the house, all the way to on the water service, all the way to the street. And this goes up and out and over to the electric panel as well. So your whole house is double grounded. So this is our main water service coming in. They're also on this sprinkler tee. There's a drain valve here also for winter drain back, and that'll be explained to you in greater detail at the new homeowner orientation. In this corner, we have a sump pit location. We will be installing a sump pump here. This white pipe is the ejection pipe for the sump, which goes outside. And this is this silver conduit is for power for the sump pump. We will be installing this. There is another white pipe, which is for vapor. Any moisture, vapor, condensation, or anything that accumulates below the concrete slab in the basement. This pipe is connected right on top of an interior drain system that we install. So anything that comes up through the ground will automatically vent up. This goes all the way up through the roof. If you would choose to use some type of mechanical ventilation fan to draw things out from underground, that would be installed in your attic, and we provide a power outlet up there that a contractor could draw power from for that fan. So this is our vapor pipe, which sits on top of our interior drain system and evacuates through the roof, or ejects through the roof. This is our main sewer service coming in from the street, and we've got sewer service from the master side of the house coming here and down. We'll have a clean out here. There's also our interior drain system ties to the city storm system. And that's this other, small cap that you see sitting on the surface. This is our city stormwater tie-in. So all of our drain system goes to the city storm plus ties into the sump pit for an extra precautionary method. Any water that would accumulate in that underground drain system will drain directly into the city storm system, but in the event that there's ever a backup or too much water, then the sump pump would take over from there. So that's pretty much it in the basement. We've got heat supply and return air in the unfinished area. So this is a conditioned space. All of the concrete walls will be insulated with a vinyl faced insulation, R11 I believe it is. So everything will be insulated in this space. All of the exterior walls in the finished area get insulated. So that pretty much takes care of things. We're gonna pause and we're gonna go outside and we're gonna recap, but that covers all low volt, all electrical wiring. And as I page through here, let me just double check the basement wiring. I don't see anything other than the ceiling fan pre-wires in the bedrooms and the outlet at 66 inches in the media room. So that's it for here. Okay, so that pretty much wraps up our whirlwind tour of your new home. If you see anything or have any questions, please contact Kyle. He and I are in lockstep together every day. So anything any questions you may have, we'll be glad to give you a call if I need to, or however we need to. I can explain anything and everything to you. So to recap a little bit on my checklist here, we talked about the exterior grading. We looked at the gutter and downspout elevations, plus talked about window grids. On your modern prairie elevation, there are no window grids. The elevation, the electrical locations, we looked at all of those. We looked at all of the low volt and security locations. Plumbing, I showed you all plumbing that's in place. The mechanical room, we looked at the thermostat location. Change order, we're beyond any change order stage at this point. And the projected schedule is the last thing that I would like to touch on, Arnold and Karen. And that is right now, as I mentioned, I have finished all inspections by third party and municipality. And this week, we'll be wrapping up the exterior, and I'm moving to insulation this week, and we'll be stocking drywall this Friday. And what that translates into is your house is trending right now toward the latter part of November for completion. Now that could come up somewhat, but every week, Kyle and I sit down every Monday and talk about the status and what's coming up for the work in the upcoming week. So if you ever need to know that, just send Kyle a shot, or he should be sending you an email each week. But I give him status updates, current and projected every week, so he should be able to stay in touch with you for whatever information you need. Right now I'm trending toward the end of November, like I mentioned, but as time goes on here and we get into drywall and through that could creep up a little bit, could creep back a little bit. I don't see it creeping back, but Right now, my goal would be to have you in for the Thanksgiving holiday, but I can't guarantee anything right now. As you're well aware, we're moving through the coronavirus time period where we have to space contractors safely, so one trade at a time, which has slowed our process a little bit, but we're making some great headway. We're having a little bit of supply chain issues on tile and appliances, but we're working through those as well. So hopefully we won't have any major delays. I don't foresee that, but we'll be in touch with you on a weekly basis. So it was very nice talking with you and spending time with you today. Like I mentioned, just give us a shout and we'll get back to you as quickly as possible. Thank you, Arnold and Karen, and have a great week.